Welcome, 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 collectives. My name is Ora-gen, and this is the Ora-gen Channel. I want to welcome you back no matter what time of day it is that you have found this message. I am super grateful that you're here. Guys, it is Sunday. I hope that you are having a relaxing Sunday. I hope that your week went well, or whatever day it is that you found this message. I hope you're getting a chance to do some self-care today and just take some time out for you. Today's date is Sunday, April 13 of 2025. Definitely moving through the month of April. Also moving deeper into the spring. So I hope you guys are starting to see some flowers come up or some different things that remind you of spring, so that way you can enjoy your spring. So I'm gonna jump in, guys. Today is more of a message than a reading. There is a download, but I don't know, some things really strong coming through the energy, and I just kind of felt like I needed to come on here and just kind of talk with you guys today. So, few things. Let's start with the first thing. Let's start with the download. So, I did see that there is something here symbolically represented with a house, and collectives members representing the voice that was trying to encourage others who were just kind of mindlessly in that house to get out of the house. And it's like no matter what they said, who they said it to, how intense the message was, the energies in the house were not aware. They weren't awakened. They weren't listening. They were kind of just going about their processes. Some of them would get agitated and just move away from the energy that was trying to warn them to get out of the house. And others would just kind of blank out, like they really didn't understand why the collective's member was saying what they were saying with the level of urgency that they were saying it. And so they would just walk away. So collective's members were just like continuously trying to warn and share. And then I don't know what happened. I think eventually they just left the house basically, because they weren't able to help others to see the urgency or the need to leave. So there was more to this download, but I think really the overall or overarching theme was that, you know, for members of the collectives or people who are awakened, chosen ones, individuals who are aware of their soul path, mission, are working towards that, working towards new earth energy, however you view yourself. These ones are having issues at this time with close friends, family members, people that they care about, like listening to them when they're sounding the warning bell about certain things. They're having issues getting a response or getting others who they care about to listen to them. It's almost like there's some sort of block or wall that doesn't allow these other energies around them to hear them. And this came up in a previous reading that's been uploaded. Go back and look at the reading on quieting spells. Okay? It has something to do with that energy, but I mentioned in that reading that some of these energies are not aware that they're being affected systemically in the ways that they are. They think that they are thinking through things, rationalizing things, being aware, but really they're very programmed and they're very stuck. And so when collectives tries to bring in new thoughts, new energy, new ideas, it's almost like they blue screen or the computer shuts down. Like the screen just blacks out because they can't process the energy and they can't process the information. This is where we talk about, guys, the timeline split, where it becomes more obvious the energies that are awakened versus the energies that are very heavily systemically programmed and asleep, they're not able to deal with certain thoughts, concepts. They just kind of shut down to it. Even if they don't get combative and argue you about it, you're just noticing you can't make any headway in these areas. They just continue to shut down no matter how you bring the information up. So definitely there's something in the energy about those who are not able to, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, like process anything that isn't like a systemic or programmed thought. They can't even process it. And they may feel like, you know, hey, I'm pretty open-minded, you know, and they might be. This is not a judgment. This is just talking about where these energies are at, okay? So something really strong coming up in the energy. And I think the house is symbolized, you know, by basically this timeline or the space that you share with these energies in some form. And I can just use this one here. The space energetically that you share with these people that you love and care about, and basically you're trying to awaken them. I think that's really what the house is symbolized by. It's like a common space that you hold, and you're trying to awaken them, and then having problems with being able to do that. So there's something here in the energy about that. I would like to drop a note that it's not collective's job to awaken others. It's definitely their mission and purpose to really step into their soul path mission and set that example for others by doing what it is that they know that they need to do. Okay, and that's just a natural effect of that. Some people it will encourage, and others maybe not so much. But that's just a natural course that happens when we step into our soul path and we feel confident and we share information with others, right? But it's not your job, collectives, to cause people or force people to awaken. That is not your job. People have to do that on the timing that is right for them, okay? If that is their timing, this incarnation, right? Because for some people, maybe it's not time yet. And so we have to accept. First, we have to acknowledge, and then we have to accept that it may not be time for these people that we are trying to speak to. Because I noticed in the download, collectives was very, very, very frustrated by the fact that they were not able to really get through to their friends and family members about, you know, whatever messages they were trying to share with them. They weren't able to get through to them, and they were super frustrated, right? So you're being encouraged, you know, it's not your job to force that or to make that happen. It is your job to focus on your soul path, your purpose, what it is you're here to do, and engage with that. And as you do that, there will be some naturally who follow. And then there will be some who are just not ready yet. They're just not, it's just not their time. Okay. So that was the first thing. Boy, the next thing that really came up was, you know, with families that have like energies attached to it that are engaging in low vibrational energy work, witchcraft, spell work, things that they are sending towards other family members. This is very sad, but it does happen. There is a video that I saw here last week, and I thought about tagging it or sharing it, you know, strong energy. So I might just tell you about it, and then I'll think about if I'm going to tag it. But basically, they have this video that I watched. It was an individual that was part of, you know, a cult or society, we'll put it that way. And they talked about their journey with this and how they got into it. And this was a regular person who had like a job at a post office and, you know, had a family, but they wanted more. They wanted more notoriety. They wanted more money. They wanted accolades. They wanted fame. They wanted all these things. And so they were actively searching out ways to engage with groups that could help them with this. This is how it started. And so as they shared their story, they began to talk about really the interview, it's wild. Everything that you're hearing the readers talking about with like family members that are trying to siphon energy off of others or sacrificing people, gang stalking, all of that. He confirmed all of this in this interview. And he was actually part of some pretty high up organizations, okay? Some groups that he touched, which I can't mention the names because I don't want to get my video flagged. But this was a person that really touched these organizations and talked about the strange and bizarre rituals associated with joining these organizations and what was expected of them. They even talked about certain religious groups that are known for being basically okay with, lenient towards certain ways of being, okay, low vibrational ways of being, or utilizing certain types of energy work in a low vibrational way, and they're aware of it. And so they're pretty cool with you joining their organization if you need a cover up, like a religious cover up, to make it look like you're a normal person that goes to church, when really you're involved in some of these low vibrational esoteric groups that attack and harm people. I mean, it was wild. And he basically stated that he sold his for the purposes of finances, resources, money, wealth, abundance, accolades. And after 2 years of doing a bunch of gang stalking, sacrificing people, ritualistic, like gross things, after 2 years of that, he got nothing. After selling his you know what, okay? And he became frustrated and agitated with the process because he was expecting to get something. He was expecting to get something from all that stuff he did, and he never got anything from it. So this really confirmed how, when YouTubers and people who do tarot and oracle readings talk about gang stalkers and stuff, and how people who are involved in these processes are thinking they're going to get something out of it. And maybe you're hearing that reading and you're like, well, what could they possibly get out of just following a random person around that they don't know, who lives a regular life, works a regular job? Well, it depends on who you're connected with. It depends on who's in your family. It depends on who could benefit from attaching to your energy, okay, in different ways, whether that's sacrificing somebody or, manipulating something, controlling something, keeping you in a certain box. It depends on what the task is and who you're associated with. That's how something like that could happen. You could look at yourself as a nobody and wonder, well, why would this even be a possibility for me? But that's because you don't understand who you are, and you don't understand who these groups are that do these things. They're actually thinking they're going to get money, resources, abundance out of doing these things. And then when you're protected and they can't touch your energy, or maybe say they were doing this to you since you were a child and it was effective, but then one day it stopped working and they could no longer touch your energy, that creates problems for them. That's why they're like hectic to complete a sacrifice or something, because it actually does create issues directly for these people involved in the gang stalking. It is a real thing. I mean, I knew this, but seeing this video actually confirmation. It confirmed greatly for me how real and accurate this actually is, because this man sat there and spoke to it very calm. Like I said, somebody who worked for the post office. He was a standardized, like, federal employee, had a job he went to, made modest money, had a family, a home. This was not like this maniacal, super wealthy, diabolical, evil villain walking around in a cloak. That was not who this was. If you saw this man on the street, you wouldn't think anything of it. Matter of fact, I would wager that most of us have seen somebody that looks like this person on the street. Once again, when you see these readings and you hear about people cloaking or just looking standard or like a regular, commoner, and really that's not what they are at all, that also happens. So the energy that I'm picking up on is collectives having family members, people that are close to them. You may not even know some of these people. They might be technically, like, genetically connected to you, but you don't know them. And if you are, a melanated person like myself, you might have members in your family who are in the Boule class who want more. They want to be part of that higher part of society. And so they're willing to sacrifice family members. That includes nieces, nephews, cousins, whatever. I did a video on that. You can go back and take a look at it. But it is shocking when you find out how much is going on out here associated with low vibrational energy work, witchcraft, spell work. It's happening even like in the churches where these people are hanging out, claiming to be spiritual or religious, and they're actually doing that stuff in the church. The church knows about it. The people know about it. Some people even join specific churches to cloak in the energy, because you keep hearing that term from readers. They join certain churches to cloak in the energy and hide the fact that they are this kind of individual. So some of you may have been dealing with for years or a good portion of your life, just weird issues. Every time you manifest something, something goes wrong with the manifestation. Like, it's beautiful, turns out great, and then all of a sudden something just shifts or changes. It's like as soon as they get wind that you were able to make some progress, they're like back at it again. And you would wonder now, with a lot of collectives, their energy not being reachable, they can't affect it in the ways that they were, because we hit a shift that was supposed to help and support collectives. So a lot of collectives are in a protected energy, and these energies are not able to easily connect with them any longer. That's why they're freaking out. That's why they're sitting at a table doing the same spell work over and over and over again. And you'll hear in the videos online people talking about, okay, well, why would somebody sit there and just do the same thing over and over and over when they know it's not working? Because they're panicking. They're panicking because if they can't complete a sacrifice, if they can't get something done, they're thinking, well, I'm not going to get anything out of it. I've put all this work in and I'm not going to get anything. What they don't realize is they were never going to get anything from that. They were being used as pawns to attack a group of individuals that is here during this timeline, which could tip the scales of the systemic structure. That's a huge problem for Archon-like energies. They enjoy their control, they enjoy their power, they enjoy their manipulation because it benefits their gains. This group, which they knew was getting ready to show up, which they've been monitoring since they got here. I'm talking about since they were incarnated, since they were born through their parents. They've been monitoring them. It's the same people you see them marking them in school because they don't program easily. They put all kinds of titles and labels on them and immediately started giving them drugs and medication. Hopefully I can say that. I don't know, but it's the truth. Because they didn't fit in. That's because they weren't supposed to. They're here to lead off new earth energy and get us moving in a different direction. That's why they're different. But instead of that being accepted and acknowledged as, oh, okay, this is different, that's good, these energies don't like that. Why? Because it stops them from being able to just do whatever the heck they want to the populace and have no earthly repercussions, which isn't even true. But it's what they believe because they've done it for so long and been able to continue to do it. But that timeline has shifted. So these energies are in shock, first of all, because they didn't really believe there was a source or someone that was, or someone, something, some energy that was going to hold them responsible or culpable for what they did. They didn't believe that. And now they're seeing it. They're in shock and they're panicking. So please understand, collectives, like you're being present, the things that you've gone through, and you now coming to this state of protection, okay, by the universe, by your guides, by source, is actually part of the process of moving this whole setup towards new earth energy. Just you being here and going through that, even if you feel like you didn't contribute in any way other than just physically being present and you went to your job every day, you're still part of the process of that shift to new earth energy, because these energies have been siphoning off the backs of the collectives since day one. And that is changing. And they don't know what to do about it. And the reality is there's nothing they can do about it. It has to do with the timeline. So you might start to notice energies in your family or whatever that tend to resonate with systemic energies, kind of just like disappearing out of your timeline. And by that, I don't mean they're not physically there anymore. Like they just don't barely call. They just kind of, when you do talk with them, it's like talking to the image of what was instead of what is. They're kind of like blank. It's like a blank energy. It's like you're talking to something from the past as opposed to someone who is standing in the energy with you presently. It's like a ghost of something instead of like standing with someone in the present moment. It feels like the energy feels like the ghost of something. That's what it may feel like interacting with your friends and family members who are programmed, highly programmed, and kind of on the previous timeline. They're not on the new timeline and they're not headed to it at this point. So they don't get it. They don't get what you're saying. And some of them might even be involved in some of this low vibrational energy that's been sent towards the collective since they were children. Some of them might actually have a part in that. Knowingly and unknowingly, guys. Definitely grab your coffee, tea, water while you're in the space with me today. I'm definitely going to be sipping on my coffee here. I'm going to pull a few cards, but I really came on here today to talk with you guys because there's some energies that were coming through really strong. Saturday. Let's see, what was the date Saturday? Saturday the 12th. It was beautiful here in Michigan. Blue skies, fluffy cumulus clouds, crisp, clear air. It was like in the upper 50s. I was out in the evening, went out and got some dinner. It was just a beautiful night. The energy was beautiful. Soon as I got home, I got a text message that was really bizarre. And it set off a whole set of events and really got me thinking and processing some of these past energies in my own life. And then it got me thinking about others who might be experiencing that. And then I had a download. So it was like Spirit was talking to me from that moment that I got that strange text message. It was just a reminder of that energy that is releasing, that is being moved and shifted out of collective's timeline. That's what we're seeing. And we're being encouraged to remember that, to remind ourselves of that. When we start to get frustrated, maybe we're still processing things that we don't feel was right, that happened to us or with us or whatever. and we're still processing that emotion associated with that, we're being encouraged to remember that these energies are not ready to make that shift. They're not ready to make that jump into the higher dimensional frequencies. Okay, we're not talking about shifting planets. We're talking about frequencies, vibrational levels. They're not ready to make that jump. They're on a different frequency. So it's like you're talking jazz and they're talking rock. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but you're speaking a different language that they don't understand, basically. That's why they look confused, puzzled, lost. They change the subject, they blue screen. That's why that's happening. Okay, guys. So let's pull a little bit of energy from Pink Tarot. I do have some other decks here. I just want to get 3 cards here. Spirit, can you give us past, present, and future energy on the table for the collectives, please? Past, present, and future. So let's start with past energy. What collectives has been through, where they presently are after that, and then where they are going, okay? Haha, look what's on the bottom of the deck. Look at this. Negative thoughts. Wow. Somebody was really binded in negative thoughts, negative energy. Had a lot of negative energies around them. Oh, wow. Look at this. Past energy. Jeez Louise. Yeah, there was a... Wow. Do I need to even say anything about it? The Devil card is up here. In the upright, we may have an earth sign, or this might be a Capricorn we're talking about. So this is your past energy here. You know, kind of hiding your shadow self. Maybe you had addictions to certain behaviors or substances. Maybe you felt restricted about who you are as a person. You know, your sexuality, anything about yourself that was more intimate or part of that shadow self, a fear to talk about it, share it, show it. Destructive behaviors, people around you helped you with that. Codependency, toxicity. Yeah, that's past energy. Okay, Spirit. Present energy for the collectives, please. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, wow. More Capricorn energy. Look at this. You're building. 4 of Pentacles. Saving money, security, conservation. Like you're getting ready for something. You're preparing for something. 4 of Pentacles on the table. Earth energy in Capricorn. Look at this. Twice. Okay, apologies, guys. The video cut right off. Confirmation on that. So, yeah. We have the Devil and we have 4 of Pentacles. Both Earth and Capricorn energy. So we might very well be talking to an Earth sign or a Capricorn. Take the energy as it resonates. So present energy here, you're saving. You're preparing for something. That is present energy. You might be kind of holding on to more money or kind of gaining access to maybe a few more dollars, a few more pentacles. But you're definitely in the process of preparing for something. So let's go to future energy. What are they preparing for, Spirit? What do we have here? Thank you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. This came up in the last reading. So we have the Knight of Swords here. Air sign energy on the table. Wow. Yeah, there's like collectives was very, Spirit wants us to know that, you know, it is seen that you're really tired. Okay. A lot of you might even be feeling like, am I even going in the right direction? Like, this is confidence in going in the right direction. Am I even going in the right direction? I'm not even sure what the right direction is because it's in reverse. Is something here about feeling really burnt out, restless, like feeling like you're just making decisions off the cuff because you're not sure what's really going on. Maybe some things have gone in a certain way where you thought you were going in the right direction, but then as you continued in that direction, maybe things started going badly and you're like questioning whether you're going in the right direction or not. I don't know. It's something here in the energy about confusion. Let's go on ahead and see. Spirit, wow. Look at this. We've got the horse on the table. Look at this. There's something here about travel, getting in motion, moving in a direction. Somebody might be involved in some sort of work that has to do with like enforcement of something too. Okay. I don't know, maybe like an officer of some kind or security of some kind. But somebody's really burnt out. Somebody's afraid of change. Okay, we have the death card in reverse. Somebody's afraid to let something end. This has to do with the future. We haven't even gotten to the future card yet. I can tell we're still getting information on where you're presently at. Somebody's stagnant because they need to allow something to change and not fear that something is changing. Something they're holding on to. We have the death card in reverse. It'll be the end of something. But yeah, your future. Look at this. You have lots of opportunities, lots of choices coming up. 7 of Cups, upright. Water and Scorpio on the table. Take the energy as it resonates. You're going to have a lot of choices. Okay? No more just daydreaming about the possibilities, but actually being able to make some choices and see results. But it's something that you're afraid to release, that you're holding on to. Something you are resistant to change about. Spirit, information on the future, please. Yeah, look at this. A lot of you have public recognition coming. 6 of Wands, fire sign, and Leo on the table. You guys are going to be confident. You guys might have public recognition in your community, at your job. Maybe if you're a person online or some sort of platform. Maybe you're an actor or performer. It could also be, I don't know. I'm hearing like it could be something like on the world scene, like political. Is something coming your way that's going to put you in front of others and really show off and showcase your gifts and talents. And you're going to have a lot of options. That's what Spirit is saying. A lot of options here. A lot of different ways you could do this. So it's going to be something that's pleasing to you. And then we have the 4 of Swords in the upright. More air sign energy on the table. You're being encouraged to rest and heal, okay? Contemplate, recuperate. You need renewal time. This is what I was saying about, you know, the energy from the previous download that I think I mentioned earlier in the video. Somebody is very tired in the energy. Like you're running around. You don't know if you're going the right direction and you're just doing a lot. Okay, I have Cash Doll doing too much coming up. They'd be like, Cash, you doing too much. I'd be like, shut up. Ain't doing enough. Oh yeah, you mad? Oh, that's too bad. It's since you ass. I like doing too much. Like I'm hearing Cash Doll, like you're doing too much. There's actually a video I'm getting ready to post on that. It's a lot of work and very little return. So you're being asked by Spirit to kind of, you know, allow them to take the wheel. And don't be afraid to release something here. Don't be afraid to allow something to end. Okay? Death in reverse. You may have to release something here because it's draining your energy, your resources. It's just not in alignment with where you're going. Yeah. Look at this. Something is coming to an end. Although this did come up in reverse. We have the World, Earth sign. We have Saturn energy on the table. Yeah, something, listen, it will be this. Once you do this, once you let whatever this is go, it's going to be this. It's looking like this right now because it's not over. You haven't, whatever you have not released is not allowing the situation to end so you can move forward here. Something, and this keeps coming up in the energy, something you need to release so that way you can move into this energy. Okay. Wow. Oh, goodness. That one flew right out. I don't even know. I'll just pick it up on what side it landed on. Yeah. Look at this. You guys have a new project coming. Ace of Wands. Look at that. Fire sign on the table, potentially. You might be a fire sign, or you might have that heavily aspected in your chart. This urge to create has to do with whatever this is that's coming in. Some of you have a strong urge to create or to do these things that you never thought of doing before. This has to do with this energy here. This like not being sure which direction you're going. You're being given a hint, a nudge, intuitive nudges to help you to see which directions you need to go, what things or steps you need to take or things you need to do to start moving in the direction of this result. Having more choices, more opportunities, the public recognition energy. You're going to be moving in that direction once you start releasing what is no longer in alignment, okay? And listening to the creative nudges and intuitive nudges that are coming up. Something has to do with your creativity. You have a new project you're going to be inspired about, and you're going to have an urge to create, and you're being encouraged to move right into that. So a lot of new opportunities, new beginnings. Okay, that's this energy, guys, just to make it clear. Okay, new opportunities, new beginnings. That's confirmation on that. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, you guys have some really great things coming. Don't sleep on the public recognition. I mean, that might be something that you're not like fully comfortable with, but Spirit is showing you that there's a direction that you need to move because it has to do with what you're here to do, like your skills, your creativity, your gifts. It has to do with that. So there's a reason why you're being moved in that direction. You're being encouraged not to resist it. Oh my God. Look at where I split. Look at this. Look at this. Split the deck. You've been dealing with, or you might be dealing with in the future, okay? Because we're on the future part of the reading. But you guys have been and might possibly in the future be dealing with some conflict and some competition and some rivalry. Listen, especially when you're in this energy, okay? When you're in this energy, people are seeing you. We talked about you coming to the forefront, some sort of notoriety, or it could just be that the people around you who are not supportive or wanted to utilize your energy in ways that you didn't give permission, that was draining, might feel some kind of way seeing you have what you're about to have, okay? You're being encouraged not to worry about that. Don't even give that a second thought. It doesn't matter. This is exactly where you're supposed to be, and you're doing the things that are in alignment with your journey. So even if you run into or notice or begin to notice some, conflict, some jealousy, people being combative, like looking for opportunities to pick fights or whatever, you're being encouraged to just move around that energy. I'm not even going to put that on the table. Like that just comes with the territory. You also might be an energy that has been dealing with that, okay? Like we talked about earlier in the download, we talked about friends, family, people who are, you would think never in a million years would be sending energies like this towards you. Conflictive energies, or energies that are, supposed to create disruption or bring up strong emotion out of you. You'd never think in a million years that that's a thing. You wouldn't. But you're being encouraged here that even if that's the case, you're supposed to focus on what it is that you're here to do. Listen to those intuitive nudges. They're showing you where to go. If you feel like you don't know where to go, take a moment and sit down, meditate, and really tap into what it is you're hearing internally. I'm getting, for some of you, you haven't done that. You've been so busy kind of running around, you haven't done that. Running around making choices and getting very little results. Spirit's like, stop that. So this might feel like a tower, whatever this is that you're getting ready to release. Okay, more of the future energy. It's going to feel like sudden change. It might feel a little like upheaval or a little chaotic because of the way the energy is coming in. So I'm seeing the energies might be coming in rapidly for you. Okay, this may not be a slow shift in a different direction. It might just be something that happens, just like I spoke about earlier in the download, you know, a message, a connection with somebody, a time that you were out and ran into somebody, and then boom, you know, you made a connection and then everything just takes off from there. It could be something like that. And then we have the Page of Swords upright. Air sign and earth energy on the table. Yeah, this is talking about, you know, something about your curiosity and thirst for knowledge. So you're going to be having new ideas. So after this tower moment happens, guys, you're going into like this new stage where you're going to start to have new ideas. It's that page energy. It's like that starting up energy. You know, it's like you're stepping into something new. For some of you, you will be stepping into something completely new that you haven't done before, but it's going to feel in alignment because it works with your gifts. Okay? So that's what I'm picking up here. A lot of curiosity, thirst for new knowledge. You might feel compelled to start reading books on something and you don't know why. Follow those nudges. Follow those intuitive hunches, and you'll understand as this energy unfolds and you start to see the direction the universe is leading you in relation to your soul purpose. You're going to understand on the other side of it why you had those strong intuitive nudges. That information is coming. But right now, you really need to rest, take care of yourself, and then really focus on tapping in and not worrying about these energies around you. This is the time to focus. This is the time to get really active with those energetic goals. Wow. Okay. We're going to pull from Sacred Soul Messages. Let's see what Sacred Soul Messages we have here. And I think we're going to pull from either Moonology or Akashic. We'll see what we're kind of guided to. Let's hear, what are the Sacred Soul Messages associated with this reading today? Things that the collectives needs to hear to help support and assist them in their journey. Okay, and so it is. What do we have here, Spirit? Messages for the collectives. Oh, goodness. No, that's not going to work. Let's try it this way. Somebody feels like something is slowing down. That's an illusion. Things aren't slowing down. You're being moved into position. So if you feel like things got quiet or like things are slowing down, it's just the way you're perceiving it. Because you're tired of being on this course. You're ready to have something happen. And so you're maybe feeling a little frustrated at the pacing of things, but you're being encouraged to be patient. Things are not slow. Things are moving right at the pace they need to. Thank you, Spirit. I spoke with 2 people yesterday that, well, last week, let me put it that way. One was yesterday and one was a few days before that. But I spoke with 2 people who both had different viewpoints of this timeline. One said they felt like everybody they talked to was saying like the ancestors aren't saying anything. They're super quiet. Nothing's in motion. And I said, that's interesting. Have you taken a moment, confirmation? Have you taken a moment to tap in? And that kind of caught them off guard. And then they said their mother said the same thing to them. And I was like, she might be onto something, because the ancestors are speaking very loudly. Okay. And then the second person I spoke with, who was younger than this person, like way younger, they said that they feel like their life is improving and getting better. And it had been so bad for so long. But everybody they talk with is saying, you know, they're not feeling like that. They're feeling like their life is getting worse. And I said, once again, I said, perception. That's interesting. So there's something here about perception and maybe the way you're viewing things in association with your soul path. And your spirit team is trying to get the message through to you. There's nothing you need to do differently here. It's just setting everything up for the collectives so that they have the resources that they need for the work they're doing. So you may have done your part, but there might be some other aspects to this that needs to be set up in order for you to be successful. That might take some time. So it's not about, if I don't get this done in 3 months, it's not real or it's not going to happen ever. No, it's not about that. It is about being patient and working with the process that your spirit team has got set up. And part of that is tapping in and tuning in. And the other part is being patient. And the other part is adapting or adjusting your perception or viewpoint when it starts to go negative. Okay. Sacred soul message. What is planted in your soul will sprout. Plant seeds, dedication. Your work is rewarded. So this is like where focus goes, energy flows. That's the way I'm looking at this. Like legit. What's planted in your soul will sprout. What are you placing there? Are you placing the energy of your new projects and your passion projects and your desires and what you want to do? Or are you placing thoughts and energies associated with feeling like a failure or feeling like nothing's going to happen or things are moving too slow? What are you putting in there? Okay, Spirit, other messages for the collectives. We'll take a few here, and then I think we're going to go to Moonology. Okay. Other messages for the collectives, please. What else do we have for collectives? We get 2 more messages, Spirit. Oh, this one wants to pop. Wow. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. That's perspective. Stand out. Perspective. Look at this. I can't make it up. There's the word perspective. Are you kidding me? If this isn't a direct message for someone, I don't know what is. Someone needs to work on their perspective. Bringing things together. You're being encouraged to change your perspective. That's part of where the issue is coming in. Somebody needs to work on changing their perspective. Let's put him here. Okay, that's 2. Spirit, any other messages? Somebody needs to use better self-talk, like the things that they're implanting in their mind or that they're repeating to themselves. Okay. And then someone needs to work on their perspective. You're being reminded of these things because this will help you during this time period that might be feeling stagnant for some of you, okay? You might be feeling stagnation. It's not stagnant. Spirit is preparing all of these things. When it does come, it might feel like this when it finally comes because it's going to be pretty sudden, okay? Sudden change. Might feel like chaos, but it's not chaos. It's planned by the universe. Spirit, other messages for collectives here. What do we got? We just need one more message. All right. Let's try it this way. Oops. We asked for 1, we got 2. I mean, we always get more when we ask Spirit for things. We always get more. That's what really comes through when I see things like that happen. You're being encouraged to work on, you know, taking it easy in the energy. Laugh as much as possible. Love as long as you live. Have fun. Enjoy life. Nurture relationships. So you guys have some positive relationships coming. You're being encouraged. Some of you might be getting ready to travel. Some of you might surf or like to be near the ocean. Some of you need some sun. Maybe you haven't had any sun in a minute. If you live like higher up in the northern hemisphere, it's kind of cold and, you know, without sun longer than, you know, other regions on the planet, you might need to get some sun. I don't know. But something here about, you know, finding ways to adapt in the energy, bringing in joy, laughter, you know, breathe, use some breath work, use some 4-7-8 breathing, you know, do something that helps yourself to feel like more calm, more relaxed, more joyful. Because once again, when we talk about this energy here, whatever you're planting, that's what's going to sprout. So if you're planting a bunch of anxiety, feeling tired and stressed energy, that is what's going to sprout for you. So you're being encouraged to really look at that and see where you can make some shifts. And then we have the world is a mountain that echoes your words. The world is a mountain that echoes your words. Reflection, seeing effects, what you do matters. Yeah, so this is just really confirming this energy here that, you know, if what you're doing is planting seeds of doubt within yourself, that's what's going to echo with you and with others. If what you're doing plants seeds of growth and personal evolution, that's the result you're going to get. And that's also what's going to echo outward towards others. What you're seeking is seeking you. Okay? And for some of you, this could be an indication that, you know, you have others who are watching you because they see that you're different. They see that you're looking at life differently. They've known you've always been different, and they're watching you to see, is this actually going to work, what this person is doing? Like, is this actually going to have a positive result? And you can encourage quite a few people just by sticking with your path, just by doing what it is you're here to do. You could encourage quite a few people, guys. Believe, focus, intent meet with destiny. This is definitely going to lead you to your path, guys. So we got even more from Spirit than what we were asking. That's beautiful. I'm going to just put these cards here. Let's go into, I think we said we're going to do Moonology. I thought we were going to get into the Akashic, but I don't want to make the video too long. So I'll do the Moonology and then we'll probably close out. I mean, I think you guys can see some different aspects of like the purpose of today's message and our energy. Okay, there's a lot here about your past, things that you've gone through, challenges, your present, what you're currently still challenged with, and maybe some beliefs that have formed due to those past challenges that need to be released, okay, or need to be adjusted. Something here about adjusting your viewpoint and releasing things, not being afraid of change, releasing the fear of change, so that way new energies associated with what you're going to be doing here can come in. So we're also seeing here that some of these energies are going to move quickly once they start moving. It could feel like a tower, but it's actually for your good. It's going to get you on the path that you need to be on. Because some of these energies that you're dealing with are on a different timeline. They are not choosing to shift at this time, which is okay. That's their choice because that's their journey. But you're being encouraged to continue moving forward regardless of that. So there's a lot here today, guys. A lot. Oops. Wow. I'll take this one here. It's a lot of energy came out. Wow. I can't make it up. It's time to take action. And you see this here? New moon in Aries. What time of year is this that this video is being recorded? Well, this is April. Okay? So this is Aries and Taurus season. What's the chances of that? Somebody might be an Aries. Okay? Somebody might also be a Taurus. Totally possible. I want to put this card where you guys can see it. There we go. Somebody might be an Aries. Somebody might be a Taurus. But definitely it's time to take action. So these areas that came up in today's reading, we really need to focus on that. Wow. Any other messages for the collective, Spirit? Any other messages for the collectives? Oh, this card flipped. Okay. Oh, some of you guys have some romance. There's two cards here. Look at this. 333 could be popping up for you, or 3333. You guys, somebody might be a Libra. Okay, we have the Libra scales here. Somebody might have some justice coming in for them regarding some past energies. And somebody is about to have a balanced new romantic relationship coming their way. I see lavender or purple here. This might have to do with the pineal or the crown chakra. That might be areas that you want to cleanse or work on, open up, connect with. Throat chakra energy here. Time to breathe out. That has to do with the lungs and the throat. Okay? This is disseminating moon. So we had new moon in Aries, new moon in Libra, and disseminating moon. So these might be moon phases where you might start to notice some of these energies shift, guys. New moon is super important because we see it on the table twice. And then the disseminating moon as well. Might be phases where you might be getting ready to see some shift in energy. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, look at this. Aries, Aries, Aries. Somebody here is an Aries. What? Look at this. I was about to put the deck away and saw it. A fiery climax approaches. This is what I'm saying. This is getting ready. You're thinking that this energy went stale. It's about to happen. It's around the corner. You guys, don't stop. Don't give up. It's right here. Wow. 222, 2222 might also be numbers that you're seeing. We've had things happen in duplicates here quite a bit during this reading. That's, wow. I'm hearing to read the card for this last one. So I guess that's what we're doing. That's how we're closing out. Okay. Fiery climax approaches. Full moon. Fiery, here we go. Wow. Confirmation. Yeah, there's something here in the energy about you maybe having missed some opportunities where the universe brought this same energy by in a different form. Okay. Once again, it took me 3 times to find it. So 3333 or 333 might be significant here. This one says it's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me, me, me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants. But you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going on to happen. I'm sorry, you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. What were we talking about? You'll have to wait a second. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you've created this situation yourself, which means you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. This is what I was talking about. It's the doing too much energy. if you're running around in circles, like there's resistance to change and you're restless and you're running around in circles, so you're in motion, but not in the right direction, you know, it could also be an effect here with like positive relationships or people that you're interacting with that feel connective, where, you know, you might have missed something, not connected in a way that felt good for the other person, and just totally missed it because you're running around, as they say, like a chicken with its head cut off. Like you're, I know it's a horrible expression, so sorry for that, but like that's what came up. But you might have missed some things in this. And this is why this is coming up in the energy about your perception of things and needing to make some adjustments and releasing some old behavioral patterns in your perception. Because you have this nice new energy coming in, you want to be in alignment with it. So it sounds like some of you have missed some things in this frantic energy of trying to make something happen. You might have missed some things that are pretty important. So that can also slow things up or have an effect on our manifestation as well. So you're being encouraged to really acknowledge and sit with that, what areas you need to work on, that you need to work on. Not external, but that you yourself need to work on, so that way you can be more in alignment with what you want to draw here. So you're being encouraged to attune to the moon, be nice, be kind, smile, and be polite as you navigate to where you want to be. Right? So work on your energy and your vibration. Additional meanings, being assertive is good. Just don't ride roughshod over everyone. So this could be something that you need to remember as whatever this is coming in. You guys have a lot of, you know, what others might consider good fortune coming in for you. Make sure that you're dealing with others in the ways that you would want to be dealt with. Don't ride roughshod over others. And also remember this as you're navigating this energy. Don't forget who you are. Because whomever I'm talking to is a very thoughtful person. You're just stressed and tired. So if there's some of this energy, you know, you've been short with people or whatever, it probably has to do with that. If you're in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace. Okay? Once again, sitting, reflecting, meditating, grounding out, so that way you can raise your vibration and be able to function in the way that you want to function. And you need to have more fun. Dude, this is crazy. You need to have more fun. Let's see. Where did we hear that before? Didn't we just talk about that? Guys, somebody needs to get out. Go outside. Don't just sit in the house, you know, mad at breakfast with these energies, you know, working themselves out, and you moving through these energies. Get outside. You're being encouraged. That's twice now. 2222 or 222. More double energy there. Get outside. The teaching. The full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, and you might be feeling that energy like something's coming. But tempers are likely to flare with rash comments or decisions. No matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has just or is about to come to a peak. There could be a price to pay if you've been too competitive or too blunt. Tower energy, it's coming in. This has to do with what you fueled yourself with, right? So if you fueled yourself with the work that you want to engage in and positive energies associated with that, that's what this tower will bring, okay? But if you fueled yourself with a lot of conflict, arguments, and problems, the tower may still bring things that move you towards your soul path, but it also, you might notice more conflict and issues coming with it. So you guys are being encouraged to, you know, be mindful of that. Go out and have some fun, meditate, ground out, get yourself in a space where you can raise your vibration and keep your vibration up during this time period. Friends and family members who are not on the same timeline, or they're kind of shifting away from you as far as understanding because of the timeline shift and where they're at. Let it go. Let them be on their journey and you be on yours. It doesn't mean you can't love them. It doesn't mean you can't care about them. It doesn't mean you can't help them. It's just you're going to have to adjust or adapt how you are trying to do that so it doesn't cause problems, disruptions in your life, like arguments and a lot of back and forth energies that don't feel good. You want to step away from doing things that way. So guys, I'm going to close the reading out here. A lot of information today. Super glad I was able to get on with you guys. Please feel free to comment below. You can also email me if this energy resonated and you would like to have your own personal reading so we can go deeper and see what's going on. Please do feel free to reach out to my email address. It is posted in the description box for the channel. And also definitely like, share, subscribe, hit the all button so that way you get all notifications about videos coming out. There's a lot of videos coming out right now on the Ora-gen channel because there's a lot of downloads coming through. It's certainly not a quiet time period. It's very busy in the energy. So you're more likely to find a message associated with energies that you're dealing with if you're checking back often. And I mean, I get specific downloads on specific viewers sometimes. So definitely, if you would like a specific message, ask that in the energy and then click subscribe, like, share, do one of those actions. And I'm sure if there's something that you're needing support with, it's going to pop up. So guys, I want to thank you so much for being here with me. My name is Ora-gen and this is the Ora-gen Channel. And I definitely look forward to being with you in the next reading. Happy Sunday to all of you who are viewing this video on Sunday. And for the rest of you, have an amazing week no matter what day it is. Love and light.